What's up guys, my name is Crash Potato and this is the 350R. So in our last video we took a look at the M50 and in this video we're taking a look at the 350R. And that is by no coincidence because these ships are very similar in a lot of ways. So they're similar in their manufacture, they're both made by Origin Jump Works, they're similar in their role, they are both essentially racing ships with the ability to intercept or fight, and they are both extremely fast. And yeah, that's sort of where the similarities end. The Origin obviously uses the 300 series chassis model, so it is bigger than the M50 by quite a bit. You wouldn't think it's a massive difference, but it is quite a lot bigger, so it is quite a lot easier to hit. You don't really have trouble hitting it other than the fact that it's fast. Obviously if it's trying to run away from you, then you're going to struggle to hit it. But in terms of performance against the M50, the 350R is sort of better than the M50 in absolutely every way. Now the M50 is better in obviously being smaller, so it's less of a target to hit, and the M50 I believe is more agile. I believe it accelerates a lot quicker and it turns a lot quicker, but they are the only two things that the M50 has above the 350R. So the 350R has an additional size 3 weapon on the nose as well as the size 2s on the wings, whereas obviously the M50 only has the size 2s. The 350R has pylon mounts on the wings, which are size 3, and I believe the M50 got no pylon mounts whatsoever, and if it did, they're only small ones, the size 1s. And obviously because the ship's bigger, it essentially has a better shield, better armor, and it's a much more versatile ship than the M50 because it's not just a cockpit like the M50. The M50 has no interior to it, whereas the 350R has an interior to it. It has a back to the ship like the 300 series where you can climb in there, you can fit a small amount of cargo in there. You have a bed in there that folds out so you can sleep in the back of your ship. So essentially you can stay out in space for a lot longer than you can with an M50. Now for a ship that's built to race / intercept, staying out in space isn't really a massive deal breaker. However, it is nice to have that ability. Perhaps if, I don't know, you run out of fuel maybe. I don't know what sleeping is going to do when the game actually comes out. I'm not sure what effect it's going to have, if it's going to sort of keep you alive longer, keep you sane, we don't know, keep your energy up, whatever. But essentially you've got that possibility to sleep if you need to, and that makes it a lot more versatile, and obviously the fact that you can carry cargo. So you're not talking massive cargo hauling, you're not going to be hauling a massive profit in the 350R because obviously it is still a small ship. It has got room for probably one small cargo crate. So you might be wondering, what sort of cargo hauling would you possibly do in a 350R? And the answer is you could do very small but valuable cargo. So if someone's got something that's just one crate, maybe it's just one item, it's just a trophy, it's a weapon, it could be something as small as that, and they maybe want that taken somewhere else, but they want it taken discreetly, they want it taken safely, they don't want it to be aboard a big cargo hauler where it might be pirated. They want it to be aboard something that pirates might look at and just think, okay, he's not going to have anything worth pirating, let's just let him go. And even if they do attack, you're in a 350R, so you're going to outrun anything. There's nothing that's going to catch up to you. You're going to easily run away from them, even if they do attempt to get your cargo. And I think that sounds quite appealing to me. I quite like the idea of carrying a small amount of cargo that is extremely valuable and maybe extremely illegal, sorry, not legal. And that sort of appeals to me. It's sort of like it's a little bit of black market side of things. And yeah, I believe now, obviously that's just a prediction, that's just a guess. I don't know for certain if we are going to be able to do that, but it can take a small amount of cargo, so you could even just role play that that's what you're doing, even if you're not doing that. You know, you could use your imagination, and your imagination is the strongest thing when you're playing games like Star Citizen. But hopefully we get it and we don't have to imagine it. So in terms of racing, so obviously these two ships, the 350R and the M50, are born and bred into racing, and they just adapt the role of combat. They're not meant for combat, they're not made to be in combat. You know, they are listed as sort of racing slash intercepting, but truthfully deep down they are racing ships at heart. So how do these ships compare when we look at their racing capabilities? And truthfully, at this moment in time in Alpha 2.5, the M50 is far superior in racing than the 350R, so the 350R doesn't have that going for it. So you know, it's lost out on the combat, it's lost out on the versatility, it's lost out on the durability, and it's now lost out on the racing. So the M50 is looking like a bit of an underdog. Now keep in mind, it is still alpha, it's 2.5, so I don't know if in the future we are going to get a more powerful M50 update. You know, maybe they'll change it, maybe it'll have its edge. I believe the way they're going to balance it, or try to balance it, might be down to the tracks. So the performance might never change, but they might make a few tracks or a few parts of the track that are very sort of favoured towards the M50, because as I mentioned at the start of the video, the M50 is more agile and it accelerates quicker. So if there's really sharp and short corners, then the M50 would have the edge over the 350R. But currently all the racetracks are very... I just exploded. It didn't look like I hit him, but apparently I did. But the tracks at the moment are very sort of long, straight, and lots of long straights. So obviously the top speed of the 350R benefits those sort of tracks, and there's not really any corners that are sharp enough to challenge the 350R, not in a significant way anyway. There are some where the M50 can get around them a lot easier, but they're not as much of a margin that give the 350R an edge. So obviously, like I say many times, and I probably sound like a broken record now, it is still alpha, it's 2.5, so this all might change. The M50 might have a rebalance patch, the 350R might have a rebalance patch, so we'll have to see what happens in the future. But this has been our look at the 350R. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in the next video. Laters taters.